Hari Om. In the fifth module of microprocessor paper, we have already covered what are the different data transfer schemes. We are currently discussing the DMA controller 8257, in which the previous video talks about how DMA works and the DMA configuration also we discussed. Then we discussed what is 8257, what are the different features of 8257. Then we talked about the architecture, or you call the functional block diagram of 8257. The architecture we discussed. We have seen what are the different registers available in each and every channel, and how the address inputs and the data bus is used for storing the data in different registers. We also discussed the DMA address register, the count register, the mode set register, and the status register. Now in this video we are going to talk about the four important components of 8257: the data bus buffer, the read-write logic, the control logic, and the priority resolver. These are the other digital components available in the 8257 DMA controller. Now let us see what is a data bus buffer. So your data bus buffer is a tri-state buffer, and it is also bidirectional, and it is a 8-bit buffer, D0 to D7 line. So only 8 bits can be transferred at a time. So that is why when we are transferring the data to a 16-bit address register or counter register, in the first clock pulse, it will be transferring the lower significant bits, then it will be transferring the most significant bits. And this is the one in the through the data bus buffer only we interface the 8257 with the system bus. That is the role of data bus buffer. So it is just to connect the system data bus to the 8257 DMA controller. We have another component inside the 8257, that is priority resolver. Since more than one peripheral devices can be connected to the 8257 DMA controller, the peripheral requests may be coming in simultaneously. So to resolve the peripheral request, more than one peripheral request may come in simultaneously. To resolve this request, we need a priority resolver. And the priority resolver is also programmed to work in two different modes. One is the fixed mode, the other one is a rotating priority mode. So if it is fixed mode, it works in the normal mode, and if it is in the rotating priority mode, it will take rotations for handling the peripheral request. Then the third digital component we have is the read-write logic. Now the read-write logic will work in the master mode as well as in the slave mode. These are the two modes the read-write logic will work. So in the slave mode, what happens? When the CPU is programming or reading, one of the internal registers, the read-write logic will accept the input-output read or input-output write signal. So depending upon whether it is read operation or write operation. Then what it will do, it will decode the 4 address bits A0 to A3, and it will either write the contents of the data bus into the address register, or it places the contents of the address register onto the data bus. So that is what happens in the case of slave mode. So in the slave mode, what happens? The read-write logic will accept the input-output read or input-output write signal, and it decodes the 4 different address bits, because this is the one that decides which channel will be used for the data transfer. So after decoding, it either writes the contents of the data bus. From the data bus, the data will be moved to the register, or from the register, the data will be moved to the data bus. So depending on whether it is write operation or read operation. So if it is write operation, the data bus content will be written into the address register. If it is read operation, the address register content will be moved to the data bus. Whereas if the read-write logic is working in the master mode, this will be done whenever there is a DMA cycle. So whenever there is a DMA operation going on, by the time it will be working in the master mode, the read-write logic will generate the input-output read and memory write, or input-output write and the memory read signal. So that means when it is generating input-output read, it reads the data from the external device and it is going to write into the memory. Whenever it is generating input-output write, what happens? It is going to do the data transfer from the memory to the external device. So it reads from the memory and it writes into the external device, right? So this controls the data transfer between the peripheral and the memory device. So in the master mode, what happens? The DMA becomes the master of the system bus. That is why we call it as master mode. Whereas in the slave mode, the CPU is the one which is going to use the system bus. So when the CPU is reading one of the internal registers, or if it is writing something into the internal registers. What are the different internal registers we have? 10 different internal registers are there in the DMA controller. What are they? The address and counter register of each and every channel. Then along with that, the mode set register and the status register. So like the 10 different registers are there. If CPU is reading any data from these registers, or if CPU is writing any data to these registers, then we call it as the slave mode. Whereas if the DMA is handling the system bus and it is transferring the data between peripheral and the memory, then it becomes the master mode. So if it is in the master mode, what it has to do? The input-output read signal and the memory write signal will be generated. For what? The data is now moved from external device to the memory. So it becomes memory write operation and read operation of the external device. Whereas if the data is transferred from the memory to the input-output device or to the peripheral device, then it becomes memory read operation and the peripheral write operation. So this is how the read-write logic will work in the slave mode as well as in the master mode. Then the fourth component in the 8257 DMA controller is the control logic. So this is the one which is used for controlling the sequence of operations, and this control logic consists of the mode set register as well as the status register. The mode set register is programmed by the CPU to configure the 8257. So in which mode it has to work, which channel is to be enabled, everything will be decided by the mode set register. So the mode set register is now programmed by the CPU. The CPU will inform that which channel is to be enabled and in what mode it has to work. In the same way, status register will be read by the CPU. So to understand the status of each and every peripheral devices as well as the channel, what the CPU will do, it will read the status register. So by reading the status register, it is used to check which channel have reached the terminal count condition or what is the status of the update flag. So this can be understood by the CPU by reading the data from the status register. So that is why in the table we have seen the mode set register is for the write only operation. It is used for the write only operation, and status register is read only. So the same address can be used if the CPU is setting the mode of 8257, then the mode set register will be programmed. If the CPU wants to read the status of any one of the channels, then it will be reading the data from the status register. So the mode set register is program only, whereas status register is read only. So what happens in the control logic, the CPU will be reading the status register and it will be programming the mode set register. And in the master mode, what do you mean by master mode? It is the DMA cycle mode. That means the DMA controller is having the control over all the buses, address bus, control bus, as well as the data bus. In the master mode, it generates the required control signals like enabling, memory read, memory write, and mark, TC signals. All these signals will be generated by the control logic. We have seen what are these signals are. So these are the different signals we have seen. The enabling, then auto loading, TCS, EW, RP, all these things will be specified in the master mode. So the memory read as well as the memory write. Not only that, what you call this as the mode set register will be programmed by the CPU. Accordingly, the control logic. So this is the control logic. We have memory read, memory write, enable, and address stop, terminal count, mark. All these things will be set or reset using the control logic. So that will be enabling whether we want to do the read operation, write operation using the DMA controller. So that works in the master mode. So in the master mode, whether it is read or write operation. So when I say read operation, from the peripheral device, it will be writing it to the memory. From the memory, it will be writing it to the peripheral device. So that will be decided by these signals, control signals, and these control signals can be specified by the CPU. The CPU will be deciding what operation it wants to do. Then these are the address we have already seen. So what is the corresponding hexa address that will be used for each and every register is also specified here. So if the channel 0 address register is to be enabled, then the input address to the 8257 will be 00, all zeros, and the decoder input will be A4 to A7, which will be 11. So for all these registers to activate, A4 to A7 will be having the value 6, right? The corresponding decimal digit is 6 for these values. So to activate these registers, this is the input address that will be sent to the A0 to A7. These are the 8-bit address lines that will be connected to the controller, and all the decoder input and enable lines will be having 0110 for enabling these 10 registers, and the address lines of A0 to A3 will be varying from 000 to 100. So you can see here in the diagram the control logic. The control logic is having A4 to A7 and the read write logic is having A0 to A3. So if the control logic receives the value 0, 1, 0 in these 4 lines, then it will be activating any one of these register depending on the value of A0 to A3. So if it is receiving value 6, that is these 4 lines are receiving value 6 and the corresponding bits here, according to the value specified from A0 to A7, any one of these 4 channel registers or the mode set register as well as the status register will be enabled for the data transfer. Okay. So these are the different components that are used in the architecture of 8257 DMA controller. So let us discuss the pin description of 8257 in our next video.